Welcome to the Legged Sportcast. It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neal.
First off, massive thanks again. I'm rocking Monterex today. I always try and make an effort to wear it once we're sometimes you forget to wear it. I'm wearing it today. 15% off as always. Type in Legged at checkout if you want to take advantage of that. Also, big thanks to Social Scousers. Give them a message. I always think that you don't really know what you might need them for, so just check them out. Follow them on Instagram, Social Scousers. So nice one, Monterex and Social Scousers.
I'll get on.
Good. Bit of a hectic morning, busy few days for me and you, innit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the live is, well, as this goes out tonight. Yeah. Tickets have obviously flown out. We've just been trying to organise, and you know what me and you are like. So.
It's good in a team, right? When you've got strengths. Mine and Jordan's strengths, which I think we are both good at, is winging things. But when you both wing it last minute, it's not always great, but we're getting there, lad.
Yeah, well, we're here, aren't we?
Well, there you go. It's done.
No content. Tomorrow's going ahead. Loads of tickets sold.
Flying.
Actually, Social Scousers did loads for us.
They've done loads, yeah.
And Monterex have put a prize in the auction as well. So
Boss.
It's obviously good for the sponsors and good for people coming.
There you go. Talking about sport, me and you have got another big weekend of sport. Potentially Haydock races again. Yeah. And we need to get in touch with Andrew, I think his name is, from one of the lads who likes the podcast, who said he's got a stag do.
Yeah, he's got a stag do.
So we might be coming with you.
Yeah, we will be there.
And then the big game at Liverpool Arsenal. But so yeah,
Jesus
again,
Christ.
we're living this life literally.
Friday night, ups at the Haydock, which is an early start. Liverpool Arsenal.
Turn up at Anfield, absolutely flying.
Divorce Sunday. Italy. But
you know what I'm so happy about as well? Mm-hmm. No more internationals.
Oh mate, 4 months.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's gone for like 4 months, yeah.
Oh my god, I seen that.
That's the best news of the week.
I seen that meme of that fella out of the office, you know, where he's just cries like...
The David Luiz one gets me. He scored a goal for Brazil and he went mental. Yeah. And like it played just his celebration, but then it just played saying no international footy for 4 months.
Honestly, that makes me so happy that, you know.
Who did England play the other day? They won 10-0.
Yeah.
Please justify me the reason for that.
You know what's embarrassing though? Like, Harry Kane's banging in all them goals against them. He may as well have played against fucking Bootle Bucks. Do you know what I mean?
Where do them players even play? Club footy, San Marino?
I think they're not like full time, are they? I don't think. Like they're like sparks and that.
They've got to get a way of like making it more competitive. Because then in England they're like on a private jet home saying qualified. You've played San Marino. You'd come bottom of the business houses league in Liverpool. It is.
I think it's obviously joking the way we joke about it, but I think it is more of a serious matter because there's so much more that could be done in those international breaks, whether it's playing, you know, lower league sides against each other or giving them a bit more experience, bringing money into the game by having England's, I don't know, play against like a lower league they may as well.
I mean, one of them players across all the teams will get injured in a few months, and then the moan will be, the professional footy players, you can't play through that. If you run a body constantly into the ground, doesn't matter that they're playing San Marino or what. If it's gonna break down, no matter how fit they are.
I know it's travelling and stuff. I know people will argue and say it's on private jets, it's this, it's that, but
you're still flying.
You know, on actually internationals, and this is me being a bit anal now, but you know, all the talk about financial fair play.
Yeah.
Not that it means anything because there's ways to get around it. Yeah, but could you argue though that West Ham's owners have just put on a private jet? They paid $100,000 to fly Antonio home from Jamaica. Now, you could argue that another. Well, yeah. Do you know what I mean? How does that work in the financial fair play? Because if there's a club who's got a player who's played the other side of the world, and they haven't got the financial resource to bring him home, then that's an advantage, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah, but it's blind eye, innit?
It literally is, though.
But it's a joke. I'm glad it's over. It's a load of shit. And when the World Cup comes round, I'll be still saying it's a load of shit as it is.
Well, I'll be saying it's a load of shit even more so because
Are you still back in England every week?
No, I've stopped doing that.
Good lad. Before you're going to fall out.
I can't remember whether I spoke to you just personally about that or on the pod.
You put it on here, yeah?
Yeah, I went through a little phase of putting a few quid each day on England to win the World Cup. Got to about 200 quid and I stopped.
What, you're going to be on them fellas, like the retro shirts on?
No. But yeah, let's not even talk about that because it's interrupting the season next year, isn't it?
Yeah, what's all that about?
No,
well, you know, obviously because players have always wanted to play in the World Cup in Qatar.
Yeah. I mean,
what a heritage.
I don't know any player who's not dreamt of it, to be honest.
Mate, honest to God, why wouldn't you break up the season to go to Qatar? It's got nothing to do with money.
No. at all.
The glory.
Anyway, so yeah, I apologies. I didn't put a bet up last weekend because, again, we talk all the time about responsible betting. I weren't just going to have a bet on random shite that I didn't really know much about, so that's why I didn't have a bet.
Always right to do.
You tipped up a boxing one which come in.
Well, yeah, I said that I thought that girl, Baumgardner, would beat Terry Harper just off watching a few fights. I then watched more after we put out, and I thought she would, and we were obviously out again. What? Jesus Christ. But yeah, so I thought she would win, and I think she was 4-1. I had a little go of it, she did win. Did you see the stoppage?
No, but Muskie texted me and said, did Jordan tip this up? Yes. Did I back it? No.
I made loads of people say that, but that's what the Patreon, when we're going to go from, I think we've been speaking to start of December to start a fresh month, but that's where the things will be, where we'll make sure that all the info's there, so you are backing it, it's not lost in the conversation. But yeah, the stoppage was incredible. She just hit it with an overhand right, and Terry Harper sort of took a step, and then her body just froze, literally just stood up. Mark Lyson, who's a Scouse referee, one of the best stoppages I've ever seen, because she literally just stopped it, and the girl ran out to finish it off, and he just got there. I think the final punch, it might have even hit him in the face. The girl swung and Mark Lyson just got there, but it was a chilling stoppage.
He proper helped save her,
referees, myself included, give them a load of crap sometimes, but it was an amazing stoppage. And then the main event, Kate Galahad got starched, which did not see coming at all. I mean, especially
Spanish lad, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kiko Martinez, he's been on for years. Just couldn't see how he was going to win, but...
Do you think Jazza would look at that and be gutted?
I think it's timing though, because see how bad Kate Galahad looked when he weighed in against Jazza? And then I think that was the last time his body allowed him to do it. Because he looked equally as bad at this weigh-in, but by the time he got in the ring, his body hadn't recovered the way he did against Jazza, and he was just, all his punch resistance was gone. I mean, it's a great shot that he hits him with, the overhand right, but he's hit a couple of them in his career, got no doubt about that, and it just makes it put him, at the end of the round, put him flat out. He somehow got up. I mean, Dom Ingle, don't know what he was doing, mate. He was sat on the stool, and he was knotting behind the eyes, and he was like, come on, got him out, and then I think it was 4 seconds into the round, same shot, bang, flat out.
I don't think he should have been let out for the round.
No, not at all, but, Dom Ingle, the Ingle gym was a brilliant gym back in the day, with his dad, one of the greatest trainers the country's ever produced, but I just don't have him as a trainer, do you know what I mean? And it just felt like everybody could see it. I know you think, this is my world champion, I believe in him and all that stuff, but there was nothing there, mate. He was just...
I think it's so sad that as a relationship, because they're obviously very close and stuff, and it's...
I mean, I don't know whether he'd admit it, but I think in a few years he'll maybe say, I should have saved him for another day, but, Kid Galahad probably would have said to him, I was recovering, I would have been okay, I would have won the fight, but, you'd rather be too early than too late, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, it was chilling the whole life.
Should we stay on boxing and we normally finish off with boxing? Should we stay on boxing for a bit?
Boxing's flying. Williams Eubank just got announced on December the 11th, same day as Conor Benn in Liverpool. That's an absolute war, mate.
That's going to be in Liverpool as well?
No, they're in Cardiff, so it's the same day.
Oh, wow.
So Eddie left Sky gone right up against them with probably a better fight, which is fucking crazy.
That's going to be interesting how that plays out in the whole DAZN Sky Sports thing.
That day, December the 11th, you've got Williams Eubank, Conor Benn in Liverpool, Lomachenko returns in the middle of the night in New York, and the next UFC pay-per-view event. So,
My God.
Where Edward should have been. December the 11th, if you're a combat sports fan, it's ridiculous. You're going to need a couple of tellies, can't look around, but...
There'll no doubt be a belter weekend of footy, I bet you.
Yeah.
I bet you there'll be a boss match on that weekend.
Yeah, that's what I mean, the big lead-up, but... Yeah, I mean, Williams Eubank was an incredible fight. I always thought Williams would have the beating of Eubank, because I think Eubank, anyone who can box...
You know what I think's mad about him, and you're probably the opposite to me, but I look at Eubank and I just think, wow, he looks incredible. On the bag, he's one of those that just looks boss. But then I remember hearing Paul Smith say years ago, he was like, one looks like a great boxer and one is a great boxer. And I think he was referring to him and Callum. And Callum's when improved, he's unbelievable. But I don't know, for Eubank as a fan, a bit of a fair weather fan, I've just always thought he's got that kind of Mayweather feel, where he's a bit...
They always say the bag doesn't hit back, doesn't it? Which is the greatest thing. But and when he burst on the scene, I didn't think he was great. I met one of my biggest... I think I've told this story before. One of me at university, I had like, honest to God, mate, I had 120 quid left, and when I say left, I mean for the term. Like, I had nothing, mate, and I put it all on Billy Joe Saunders.
Did you?
Yeah, and they went out that night and spent a lot, was back to 120 quid. But, and then everyone was telling me, like, going to be a world champion, and I just never seen it. But he's 32 now, cracking on, do you know what I mean? Like, and Williams, again, is someone who I thought would be a world champion when I first seen him. But, you know, he's been a bit stop-start. He's with, you know, with the aforementioned Domingo, which I don't think is the greatest move ever. You know, he got beat by Demetrius Andrade last time. I think he's got the beating of him because he's a great boxer as well as a good fighter, but I just don't know whether it'll play out that way. Because Liam Williams loves to fight, and that's the only way Eubank wins. Eubank will only beat people who will fight with him, or the people who beat him. George Groves boxed him and then fought him as well.
I wanted Callum to fight, you know, in the Super Series. I was dying for that fight.
Anyone, I don't say anyone, but anyone at a certain level who can box with him will beat him. Because he's not a very good boxer. Well, if you fight with him, he'll probably level you out because, you know, it's mad because he has come from a privileged background and all that stuff, but he can fucking fight, like. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mate, I seen a thing as well saying Joshua was kind of saying to Fury, like, you know, don't be looking at Usyk, like, he's mine, I'm having him. And I felt like saying, like, Fury can still look at him because he's going to fucking iron you out again.
Exactly. Imagine being Usyk now, though. Just be like, go on, lads, he fights me.
I was thinking about Usyk this week because I thought, from looking at the report, he's got 3 options. He's got Wembley, the Ukraine, or the Middle East. And it's kind of like, do you want a big fucking heavy payday in the Middle East? Do you want a decent payday in London? Or do you take the hit and just take the glory and just fight in your own backyard? I mean, what's he going to go for?
If I was him, I would dig my heels in. As I said to you, get paid as much as I can. Beat Joshua anyway, because wherever the fight is, he'll beat him. Then go home and have a big homecoming in Ukraine. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but then...
Beat up someone, drop your belt in the middle and just say, nice one.
I think, though, yeah, imagine this. This is like trying to predict the lottery numbers. Okay, let's say he gets a big payday in London, beats Joshua again comfortably, has his homecoming in the Ukraine, but this time it's up for Fury to come. That is just made for Fury to go to Ukraine in the backyard and just do what he done to Klitschko.
Yeah, 100%. But
then Fury looks even better.
Yeah.
He's went twice to the far to Eastern Europe, and
I just don't even know whether they'll still. I can see Fury fucking it off before long, to be honest. Because you know what he's like, he's up and down, isn't he? Unless he gets the Joshua, I don't think I know he talks about it, but I don't think the Usyk fight gets him going. I just think, you know, he's done all the belts and all that stuff.
On the 11th of December, is that when his brother's fighting as well?
No, 18th, that.
All right.
Fucking Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury.
I was going to say, because he seems a little bit more rejuvenated for that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like, that's a buzz for him, but he's going to cause carnage that week, mate, isn't he? Your press conference and that.
I'm actually going to watch that one, you know, just because Tyson Fury's involved.
I'll watch it, but I just hope Fury goes in the press conference and just start throwing shit in, you know what I mean? Just smack. But, I mean, Tommy's some pressure that, like.
Yeah,
you cannot.
That's a lot of pressure, that, yeah.
He can't lose. He cannot lose. If he loses, oh, fuck's sake. Curtains for him.
Maybe a bit closer to home as well. Tasha being on the show.
Yeah,
she's fighting this weekend.
She late edition. This weekend's really good, actually. Obviously, Tasha signed with Boxer, didn't she, in Sky, which is a really good move for her.
She's doing the fighting and the broadcasting.
Yeah, so, you know, it just allows her to carry on fighting, but, you know, build for that next career, which she's made for. Yeah. On the podcast, she's made for it.
Yeah, she speaks really well, doesn't she?
But yeah, she's fighting this weekend, obviously getting out again. But it'd be good to see someone back her, you know what I mean? Like, put her in a world title fight, not as the opponent. Because she's gone into these world title fights. Terry Harper, she won, but she got put in as the away fighter. Katie Taylor's got put in as the away fighter. Be good to try and get Sky to back her and bring someone in. Obviously a champion or a vacant title or whatever, but at least feel like you're in the home corner a bit, not the opponent. But no, that card this weekend, Sky, honest to God, like the bounce back they've had from Eddie's been really good. They've probably put on since that card we were at, Sky have put on better shows than Eddie, which is, you know, no one would have predicted.
Unheard of, yeah.
But I mean,
because you were even saying yourself, Sky are going to be ruined, aren't they, when Eddie goes?
Because I didn't think, I thought it was all basically, you know, Eddie was keeping it alive sort of thing, but they've clearly said no, we want to stay in, and I just didn't think they'd invest money, but they clearly have. And again this weekend, you know, they got a there's a great fight on that card. Jose Burton versus Dan Aziz for the British title. Unbelievable fight, like, And they seem to be putting on these little trade fights that, you know, seem to be Brad Ray, Jez Smith, when we bet on Brad Ray the other week, one of the best 8 rounds I've ever seen. I don't know what they're tapping into this little hardcore UK. You
and all your little, you and everyone who listens to you.
You and me, myself and I just do that. So, yeah, that's a great fight, mate. I mean, Dan Azeez actually was the underdog heading into this week, and he's been backed into 4-6 now. It's a great fight. Jose Burton was he fights with Joe Gallagher. He was in that stable when like Paul, Liam, Callum, and he was always well thought of. He was like with Eddie getting pushed, and he fought a guy called Frank Buglioni a couple of years ago, and he was dominating the fight, and he just got it with this random shot, just out of nowhere, and then like obviously it buckled him, and then he's had like promotional disputes, like been out for like 2 years, come back out for a year. Do you know what I mean? He's like really good fighter, but just never got going. He's related to Furies and stuff from that sort of travelling background, but just never got going. And obviously this is a good chance for him to
get back to it.
And Dan Azeez unbeaten. He's done like Southern area. I think he won the Southern area. Then he won like the English.
Lad, your knowledge of boxing is fucking incredible.
It's sad, isn't it? It actually is sad.
Oh my god.
But yeah, he's won like all these domestic titles, so I think that'll be a barnstormer Saturday night. Like, just we won't be seeing straight by that. Well,
no.
You know, I keep catching up on Sundays. Everyone was messaging me the other week, you know, about did you stay up for the UFC that day? And I was like,
I had a few people message me, asking did he stay up? Did he fuck?
Well, don't even remember getting back to ours. But yeah, I think that's a great fight. I mean, I fancy Dan Azeez as the outsider. He's getting a bit short for me now, but I think he's 13-8 by decision. I reckon that could be a good little bet. And then over to the States, mate. Terence Crawford's fighting Sean Porter, which is, again, Terence Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world. Well, he stopped Kell Brook not long ago. He's fighting Sean Porter, mate, he's one of the toughest fighters in the world, basically. He's held the welterweight title, but just like bounced around, fought all the champions. But as a amateur, he beat Usyk.
Did he?
Yeah, he fights at welterweight now. Usyk fights at obviously cruiser heavyweight. He beat Alexander Usyk as an amateur. It's mental.
Isn't that mad how someone's career can just that way and that way?
Yeah, like, mate, they're not even close in weight. 147 to, you know, north of £200.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy, but yeah, he's a brilliant fighter, Sean Porter, but he's just been unlucky that he's around when like the likes of Terence Crawford and that are around. But it'll be a great fight, good test for Crawford. You know, if he stops Sean Porter, it's just like a statement. Like, but I just can't. Porter's so tough. I think Crawford decision's probably the bet of the weekend. It's not very big on odds, but
it's the banker bet.
I think it'll be a great fight because Porter he's just game. Do you know what I mean? Fit as anything game, but the old amateur professional sort of argument. Sean Porter was a well better amateur than Terence Crawford. Represented the USA like multiple times on all these things, and then as professionals, Crawford's obviously one of the best fighters in the world. Porter's one of the best fighters in the world as well, but do you know what I mean? He's like surpassed them. It's just mad how you know the tide can change basically. But you know, if you're a boxing fan this weekend, that's a serious fight. Like,
what are we on for UFC?
Bit of a quieter card. Caitlin Vera versus Misha Cupcake Tate. What a name.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a bit of it's one of them. Like last week, Max Holloway's fight was one of the. Did you see it?
No.
Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez. Mate, it was an absolute war. You should have seen his foot. So this Yair Rodriguez kicked him that much. His foot was broken. It was a balloon, mate. And in the 5th round, he's just like, yeah, fucking I'm going out. And he's still throwing it with pure venom.
Oh. Did he win?
No, Max Holloway won, but mate, his corner said to him, I can't know what the direct thing is. The 5th round's corner boy. Like, listen, we're down here. Do something. And he was like, yeah, sound. Went up, mate, he was doing front flips. He was like fucking trying to Superman punch him. Mate, honestly,
all this with a broken foot?
Broken? Mate, I'll send you the picture. It was horrible. And they had the boss little thing. After it, they were like in the back of the ambulance together. But mate, honest to God, the UFC is just...
You know what I've been doing after you talking about him so much? I spent one of those things where I went to bog, and 45 minutes later I still hadn't had a shit, but I was watching YouTube on that Chimaev...
Nutter.
Yeah. I'm a massive fan.
Smash brother. He's nuts, mate.
Yeah, I'm glad I know everything about him now.
Did you see that thing with the 2 Jake Pauls?
Yeah.
I don't know what that gun is, but it looks
He's got like, it's like they're on deer's heads, isn't it?
And he's got a big old gun.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of him now.
Scary dude, mate.
Yeah, do you know how he done that to his lip?
No.
He fell down concrete stairs when he was a kid.
Doesn't surprise me.
McGregor calls him rat lip, doesn't he?
So does Paddy.
Does he, yeah?
Paddy was giving him loads on Twitter and it's like that.
They're not the same weight though, are they then?
No.
Thank God.
Not that far though, but no.
Yeah, mate, he's unbelievable.
All they're trying to do, like, Leon was like...
Doesn't look like he's going to fight him, does he, no?
Would you?
No, but I'm just saying, we said last week, didn't we, that Leon, being a fighter, might say yes to it, but...
Yeah, but he was like, I'll wait till...
yeah, I think he wants to get Christmas out the way, doesn't he?
Apparently he's going to fight Gilbert Burns, who's just come off the back of fighting for the title. So if he beats Gilbert Burns, mate, that's someone in the top 5, then they'll be looking to make the Usman fight. Usman, pound for pound, best fight in the world against him. Me.
I've seen as well, mate, we've had Dean Garnett on, a bit controversial for some people, but...
Mohammed Makhayev, yeah.
Yeah. Mate, he's 30, you know.
I think he's 20 or something. 20. He's the youngest.
Yeah, youngest UFC fighter.
Yeah.
He's had 4 amateur fights, I think.
No, mate, yeah.
And 26
he's
pro.
Mate, he come over to Liverpool.
And he's unbeaten.
He come over to Liverpool as an immigrant. Which is obviously very, very...
He trains with Dean Garnett, doesn't he? In
so he come over to...
his gym.
He come over to Liverpool to flee wherever he was from. I can't remember the name of the country. And he got rehomed in Wigan.
Be fucking gutted there, wouldn't you?
No, yeah. But he went to like a youth club and they were doing wrestling. And then he went on and won all these amateur tournaments.
Yeah, I spent another half an hour on the bog watching him on YouTube. He's a beast, yeah. His wrestling, mate, he's got this wrestling. Oh my God, he's just flipping people and doing...
can't stand each other, no one, Paddy.
Really, yeah?
They have like serious beef, them two. Seen him? Ever seen him?
Is that because the gym thing? I know him and Dean don't.
Yeah, him and Dean, I think Paddy and Dean's thing, and he's like collateral damage to it, but they were going after each other on Twitter the other day.
They might be similar weight, aren't they?
He's flyweight, I think, Makhayev. But mate, he will be the youngest ever UFC champion.
Yeah, he looked, well, you know more about it than me, but from the YouTube standpoint I'm looking at, he looks an absolute monster.
British MMA.
It's flying, isn't it? Yeah.
Flying, and we just got to get... Imagine all them on UFC London.
Yeah.
Imagine that week.
I seen
Paddy all in the
oh God, I'm paying fucking thousands to be ringside for that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a couple of boss fights this weekend again. Davy Grant, good.
Davy.
British fighter. Yeah. Your Davy used to always fill you in.
Yeah.
He's fighting. He's fighting Adrian Yanez, which is that's a banger. That I mean.
Where's this? Is it over in America, is it?
Yeah, just them Apex fights, but yeah, mate, boss card. Not like a...
Any big bets for the UFC?
Probably not, no, I reckon. Talia Santos, who was the girl who beat Molly McCann, she's fighting Jojo Caldo, which is a good fight. I don't know what...
Molly was on Sky Sports, Sky News, you know?
Yeah, was she, yeah?
Talking about a book.
She's boss, Molly. I mean, she, again, you know, talk about Tasha, she's made for it, isn't she?
Mm.
I think...
yeah. Felt like saying she's been on the fucking pod talking about that girl.
Yeah.
Miss K. Bailey. Come mind your necking.
Yeah, well... Yeah, I mean, I might see some bets later in the week when I have a proper look at, like, you know, people who have a look at the decision markets and stuff like that. But yeah, I think keep an eye on that that card, Davy Grant versus Adrian Yanez. That's a serious fight, and you might be looking at one of Paddy's next opponents there on the prelims, Terence McKinney. He holds the record for the quickest knockout in the UFC.
Is he? Yeah.
And once...
What's that, like 4 or 5 seconds or something?
It was quick, like. And he was a few weeks before Paddy, and when Paddy was getting all the hype, he was like, "Man was better than that." And then Paddy replied, and then he was having a bit of... So I think, you know, reading between the lines, if he keeps winning, I think that'll be one of Paddy's next opponents. Yeah.
Good stuff. Mate, before we go on to footy, you know we normally start the show off talking about footy, but just in an overview of the sporting world, mate, there's some heavy stuff going on in the cricket world.
Oh, shocking. Absolutely shocking. I mean, it's very tough, I think, because you have to stick with me. It's not saying it was a different time, because it wasn't that long ago, but the world has changed in recent years, and whatever, you know, what he's saying is true about these players and what they were saying, and, you know, asking him his dad's corner shop and stuff like that, then that is wrong. But the world of sports and banter and all, it's a very, very, very it's a tough, horrible world, isn't it? And
Yeah.
where do the lines get blurred, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying racism should happen, but I've been in dressing rooms and stuff, do you know, the brutal places.
Well, the two things I've seen is one, which I think this is wrong. Somerset investigate Jack Brook over historical tweet. So in 2012, he's allegedly sent a racist tweet. Now, whether he has or he hasn't, that's not the point I'm getting at. It's if you're going to start going back, trawling through what you said 10, 15, 20 years ago, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, you're a different person.
You know, where do you draw the line? At 16, you said something which you're embarrassed about now.
Me and you sit here now, if I went back over, maybe not what you tweeted because it wasn't round, but even look at your views as a 16-year-old compared to now, or in 2012 even, how different are you now?
I think that's wrong. I don't care what it is. I think that to go back,
if he was like suffered systematic racism in terms of, you know, I've seen people like force him to drink alcohol against his religion and that. If he was made to face that, then that's wrong in any year.
Well, what I'm going to say on that, right, and yeah, where I can see the point, and again, like you say, it's a very fine line. I'll probably offend someone by saying this, but I've never been in a sporting dressing room like you have to kind of the level that you got to, and certainly not the level he's got to. But I have been in the military, where it's very similar
yeah.
banter, if you like. And what I think there's a big difference in over, and people may agree and disagree, is if it's kind of constant bullying, I hate that. I fucking hate, I despise that, where someone is just making someone feel shit. And it might not be anything big. It could be something like, you know, you're all sitting around and you go, is everyone come for a beer? You come for a beer? You come for a beer?
Yeah,
and just ignore you. You know, that type of bullying, I think, is horrible. You know, not including someone in that kind. And if that kind of stuff goes on, then that's wrong. If there's a one-off thing that you could argue in those hour or two is a bit like bullying, if it just happens that once and then after it, everyone's treated the same again, I don't really think that's bullying. For example, again, everyone think I'm a fucking weirdo now, but when you join the Marines, there is that, one could argue, bullying culture that goes on, because you're a sprog, you're the new guy, you do what's called an initiation ceremony where you're getting naked, you're getting eggs thrown at you, you're eating dog food, you're getting pissed on. It's fucking... Yeah. You could argue and go, that's bullying. But everyone does it. You do it for this hour or two. It's embarrassing. It's all that. It's all this kind of... Rugby, I think's very similar. Once it's done and dusted, you shake hands. The next day you wake up, that's it, it's done. Now, is that bullying or is that just a one-off thing? Now,
that's what I'm saying.
You could argue, you could bring religion to it and say, well, I don't drink alcohol and they made me drink it, which is, I guess, a little bit different. But if there's a one-off thing where someone feels like they've been bullied in an initiation ceremony, I don't think that's bullying, me personally, again. But if it's something that goes on and on and on, then... And that's why I think it's so hard to kind of... There's not just one side.
It's not
because,
black and white.
No, is it? Fuck
and
no.
I think the thing you have here as well is you do have a clash of cultures. You have a clash of a culture where drinking is very, very paramount, and a culture where it's absolutely not. And it doesn't matter what side of that fence you're on, whether you believe it's right or wrong. You should never be imposing your will on somebody, because, you know, that is wrong. If you're saying drink, and the person doesn't want to, then that you shouldn't be doing that. But I don't think these people who are judging the situation have ever been in a dressing room or have ever been in a sporting circle, do you know what I mean? And as you say, it might be right or it might be wrong, but it happens, and it always has. You can't get them people and go, why did you... You can ask them, why was you being racist? Because you shouldn't be racist, but you can't say, why was you engaging in like sporting traditions or sporting initiations? Because you can't answer for that now, because it was years ago. Listen, the fact that guy's been bullied and all that, that's horrendous, and I feel for him. The thing that pisses me off, though, is like you say, you're getting people who aren't even involved in the situation, and some sad bastard is passing judgments and trawling through back everything that was said with a fine-tooth comb, saying Jordan was said something homophobic 15 years ago. I think what they've got to deal with the systematic racism in terms of, you know, if it's consistently people of a different colour or people who believe in a different god or whatever are constantly being put under certain pressures, then that's got to change, but that's got to change from the top. What you can't do is completely dumb out a culture of sport, because I've had some horrendous things said to me, but I've also given it back. I've never been racist or nothing, but for example, like, my mates have said stuff about family members, or, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I've given it back, and then we forgot about it. Is it that, or is it actual bullying? And I guess we'll never know, will we? Because there's two sides.
And that's what I mean. If it's the odd little thing, I don't think it's that bullying. It's that bit of banter. It's when it's constantly that kind of almost psychological bullying where it's constantly putting someone down. That's what I don't like. Yeah. If it's the constantly taking the piss, and I don't know.
I think what you've got to do here is let it play out, because you see his interviews and I do feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
And I look at him and I think, what you're saying, if you've been put through that's horrendous. But these people are also going to get there, say who he's accusing, and then you're going to look at them and go, hang on a minute, maybe he's got a point, maybe he wasn't. So you've got to let these things play out. But
what I will say, good luck cricket. Yeah. It looks like it's in a bad way at the minute.
They exactly have hundreds of thousands of fans in England anyway. Fuck no.
They probably made up some of them that people actually talking about cricket.
But it's like, it's a horrible situation, but I think it's just the tip of the iceberg, to be honest.
I see, mate, I know we're not massive fans of F1, but there was a bit of a big weekend last weekend, wasn't there? Yeah, Hamilton made a dramatic...
I think the thing with F1 is the reasons, even myself, I do like it, but the reason it's now becoming at the forefront because there's a battle on again, isn't it?
Yeah, so it can't get won this weekend, but so there's 14 points separate for Verstappen and Hamilton with 78 to play for.
I mean, for the last 10 years being wrapped up by now.
Yeah, exactly. So it can't be won in Qatar, but if I think Verstappen can win the next one and come second, and then it'll go down to the wire.
Yeah.
So
that's what F1 needs, because talk about cricket.
Well, I mean, I'll be watching F1 this weekend.
It's a very niche thing, and you need competitiveness, don't you? You need to be able to sell competitiveness, so to speak. And,
it's like any sport when someone is just dominating. It's boring.
If I sat you down now and was like, "Oh, you want to watch F1?" and you go, "Oh, what's happening?" I said, "Oh, Hamilton's at the front, but he's already won the championship." But if you watch the rest, the battle, you'd go, "But you go and look, Hamilton's first, Verstappen second. If he wins today, like it's out of his reach, he's going to take risks at the next corner or whatever. It just makes it more exciting. We love competitiveness, don't we?
Exactly, and the drama that it brings. So, I'll be watching the F1 on Sunday. Mate, we touched on it last weekend. No decent managers about. Probably a bit disrespectful that, but Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, next Rangers manager.
Mad one.
No disrespect to him, but he was a great right back, if I remember rightly.
Left back, I think.
Was it left back? He was a wing back anyway, from what I remember. Brilliant.
I don't know what his managerial career's been like.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I think it's time to replace Steven Gerrard, like an ex-player. Do you know what I mean? Ex-player coming in.
It's just a mad one, isn't it?
But that Dean Smith went to Norwich. That's even madder.
I think he's just resigned to the fact they're going down, and he'll just be planning for next season now.
A long old way to be planning for, though. You're be getting.
It's a depressing 6 months for planning, isn't it?
Can't wait for next season. Kimbo party.
Fucking Kimbo.
Yeah, but obviously the Prem's back, isn't it? This
let's end on the Prem. Mate, what I will end on a personal note, and please comment or message me what you think. I'm in the last man standing.
Oh my God.
For 20 grand, and I'm down to the last 10. I've picked Chelsea, Arsenal and Leeds. So please comment your picks of who you think I should go for.
If you don't go Villa, you're a shitbag.
I'm thinking City or United. Jordan reckons I should go Aston Villa.
If you get through with Villa, you go into next week with the stronger stand.
I know, but Villa, when you look at the form table...
The form table, they got Stevie at the wheel.
Our bottom, last 5 games, they've got 0 points. Brighton have got 4 points.
What was Brighton's last result?
Brighton drew at Newcastle 1-1.
Only as good as your last game. They're garbage.
But before that, he drew at Liverpool.
Fucking me. Anyone can draw with us at the minute. Oh, I hate our game this weekend.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
11-2 Arsenal.
That's probably a good fact that we're going to Haydock at 11:30. I'll be ballooned by 5:30. I won't know if we get beat.
Mate.
It's a real tough... The whole Prem this weekend is really tough. You got Leicester, Chelsea. Wouldn't want to be calling that. I mean, you'd argue Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea are probably one for the... if you're going to throw the aways in. 3-4 they are. I also fancy, though, if you're going to have a little, an outside bet, Vardy anytime.
Yeah, he loves a big game.
He always scores against the big teams. Mate, you've got Villa Brighton. Obviously, Stevie's first game. That's going to be an absolute cracker, that.
Yeah.
Burnley Crystal Palace. Mate, Patrick Vieira is flying.
He's not bad, is he?
Flying.
They're favourites. They're away at Burnley.
Mate, they're doing really well. Mate, they've not been beaten since we beat them in September.
And we were there. It wasn't an easy game, that.
Yeah. We've
Naby Keita scored. Random.
They drew 4-1-2 on the back of our loss, so he's starting to get them playing. You got Newcastle, Brentford. I'm just fascinated what goes on at Newcastle now.
Yeah, pure dough everywhere.
Did you watch, by the way, the overlap with Gary Neville and Alan Shearer?
No, it was meant to be good, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good. So I didn't know Mike Ashley, right?
He's mad, him, isn't he, lad?
Listen to this for pettiness. This is a little bit like...
I thought you said he listens to this. I was like, does he?
Oh yeah, Mike Ashley, listen to this.
Mike Ashley's coming on Friday.
Remember you told that story about Conor McGregor and his pettiness?
Yeah.
So Mike Ashley had a falling out with Alan Shearer.
Oh, God.
And moved... they had a statue built of Alan Shearer, but it's not built on the grounds. It's built like on the street, so they had to speak to the council to get it built because it's not on the grounds. No, wow. It's like the Bill Shankly statue, getting just
just on the side or
that. And they also had a bar in the ground called Shearer's, and he's fucking renamed it.
Mike.
Imagine.
Big Ashos.
I think it's called
Shearer's Shite.
The number 9 or something now.
Right, I've got visions of him just spray painting Shearer's Shite.
Imagine if it was Ashley himself doing it.
Love it.
But how petty is that? So anyway, yeah, I'd give that a watch. The overlap's quite funny.
I love it.
I'm just fascinated to see what goes on there, what they do. You know, January's going to be really fascinating for them.
Wolves, West Ham. Wolves are 2-1 at home and the West Ham are flying like, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't be touching that. Would you not, for my little last man, would you not think about Southampton just because Norwich saying that they've got a new manager as well, haven't they?
But they're bad, you know.
I know, but...
They're the worst Prem side I've ever seen, lad.
Southampton aren't doing too bad, to be fair, as well. They've won the last 2 games against Villa and Watford.
Like, I don't actually mind Southampton. I think they're
13th in the league at the minute.
I think, honest to God, Norwich are the worst side I've ever seen in the Premier League. They're so bad.
They are bad, like.
Our game's horrible, you know.
Yeah. Well,
11-2 Arsenal.
That's a big price.
That's insane, lad.
If you were going to have a bet on, I never ever back against Liverpool, but I think the bet there would be double chance.
100%.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
8, I think it is.
Although
we're playing crap.
Liverpool being Liverpool, though, it wouldn't surprise me if they just come out and win 2 or 3-0.
I know.
We've got that in the locker, haven't we?
I don't see a game now at the moment where we don't concede it.
I know, mate, but if you look on flash scores, right, this season, like it's just that.
Oh, I understand that, yeah, but it's just, I don't know, there's something about it.
The only thing I'd say double chances because Liverpool very rarely get beat and they very rarely lose 2 on the spin.
Yeah.
So I can't, especially at home.
Yeah.
I can't see us, you know, if you take out that season where no fans were there, Liverpool haven't been beaten at home with fans there for about fucking 17 years.
I know, it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah.
It's mad.
I mean, Arsenal is a bit of form, haven't they? I mean, the thing with Arsenal is they can just implode, can't they?
Yeah.
You know, they can just like turn up and just like not fancy it one bit.
Isn't it mad the shit Arteta was getting at the start of the season?
Oh yeah, everyone thinks he's the fucking best thing going now.
And then Sunday you've got Man City, Everton.
18-1 Everton.
Tottenham, 18-1.
18-1.
Mate, that's a double.
Arsenal Everton.
Arsenal Everton. Just put a quid on it.
Pays 123-1.
And Tottenham Leeds. I think Tottenham have got it in them to really kick on now with the new manager.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say kick on, that's a bit strong, but I mean get the shit together a bit more than they did.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Like I think they couldn't have a better gaffer really in the current times.
I just think they need someone who's going to drill a little bit of, you know, robustness into them and just a bit of grit and determination.
To me, they just look. Everything about Spurs is just shit, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like their attitude's crap. You see that like Ndombele, boss player, but his attitude stinks. Harry Kane's like walking around.
He'd be on a high now after banging 5 in against fucking...
San Marino. Fucking surprised he did, by the way, garbage.
Did you see...
1-7 Man City, I can't believe that.
Did you see Roy Keane? I'm going to go Harry Maguire because he ran doing that. I get Roy Keane, I'm Roy Keane, by the way, because... Although I did see a good counter argument and saying like, you know, we moan at footballers because they're all like so robotic in their interviews, and then the second they show a bit of themselves, we have a go at them.
I mean, I've got no problem with what Harry Maguire says or does. I mean, but it's hard.
But at least celebrate, giving it the, you know, what do you say now? If you score against a decent team,
yeah, that's it.
Fucking San Marino or whoever it was.
Fucking Lithuania or something. I don't know what. I don't even watch, but. It's like, I understand what they're saying, but, you know...
I lose a bit of respect for friends if they go, I'd watch the England game last night. I'm like, no. I think I watched, what's it called? Arthur Christmas with Alba, my little girl. Emily, I started watching Christmas films when England were on.
Emily, the night England were on when they won 10-0, Emily had made us from dinner and she was like, we sat down at the table and she was like, I was seeing the footies on, do you not want to watch it? And I was stared at her for like 10 seconds. She was like, what? I was like, don't ever say that to me again.
I'm just not into it at all.
We shouldn't really keep bashing it, but it is bad. Like it is.
I'm just made up. It's gone anyway.
But yeah, no international breaks now, so that's good. But yeah, I can see. You know, do you know what I can see this weekend? And I'll probably be complete. I can see some mad results. You know.
Well, I hope not too mad because I want to stay in this last man standing for my 20 grand.
I think Everton will get a result at Man City.
Are you Man City or potentially me pick?
I think Everton will get a result at Man City. Lad. I had the same feeling I had when Brighton will get a result at us. I have with Everton and Man City. Man City aren't that good. Get
your comments in, please, right?
Just say Villa.
On who you think I should go for last man standing.
Just Villa. Write it now.
No.
You shit bag. You shit.
No.
Right, they're going to win. Ollie Watkins, hat-trick. 3-0 at the half. you might just message saying, send us that 20 grand now.
Oh, imagine just 20 grand cash.
I know.
Just thanks to Stevie.
Can't wait for my little bit of that.
I was going to ask Jordan to go Arsenal, and then he picked Tottenham and they got beat by United. I thought, boom.
I pick Villa.
I don't know. Anyway.
If you go with everyone else, you're just terrified to lose. Fortune favours.
Maybe. Anyway, I want to see what everyone thinks first. So get your comments in.
Putting it out to the world. You know, at this live event tonight, everyone's just going to be going to you, Villa, lad. Villa.
Yeah. We'll finish on that live event. Anything else you want to touch first on?
No.
What's your big bet then? You said, what's the bank you're going for?
I think Terence Crawford on points. I think that's a very, very solid bet. And I do like, but I need to do a bit more digging, but I do like Dan Azeem on points at 13-8 as well. Yeah, and obviously keep an eye on Davy Grant versus Adrian Yanez on the UFC. Mm-hmm. And if there's anything else on there, I'll put it up. But
yeah, I want to do a bit more research on my footy bet. So the footy bet will be on the YouTube channel if you go into the latest episode, into the bio of that, and I will put my 3 homes up, 3 aways, and then follow it up at a 6-fold.
Like event time.
And again, yeah, if you haven't got a ticket already, I'm saying this, they're probably all gone, but try anyway.
The Hilton give us like a handful more.
We'll put the link in the bottom. Try it, or message me and George, and if there's any tickets left,
sort it out.
Yeah, we'll sort it out.
I need to get rid of this cold first.
It's a 10. I know your nose is running.
I'm dying, lad.
£10 a ticket, supporting Stamp Out Suicide. Me and George are doing a little Q&A with Jose Baxter. Cannot wait for that. And then Jordan's old man John and his mate Andrew are going to be having a little bit of a sing-along. Cannot wait.
I had a little back. I seen into their rehearsing.
Oh, did you?
Andrew's come up to Liverpool Thursday. They're rehearsing again today.
Oh, they're taking it proper serious then?
Yeah, but Andrew's a professional.
Yeah.
Obviously, my dad...
By the way, then, we should have charged more for these tickets. It's a tenner.
I know.
Absolute steal.
But my dad, as I said to you, he's like done with music and all that. And then the minute he's back, he's there rehearsing. He was... yeah, they've got some great... A lot of it's like, you know, friendly tunes that people are going to know.
Yeah.
And it'll be boss, mate. It'll be really good. I think we'll warm the night up nicely and then get right on it.
Yeah, fucking right. Fucking right.
And have a good old party, yeah.
Cannot wait. So if anyway, message us and get down for it if you can.
Some boss prizes being put up as well. The Hilton have put something up. I think there's a 4-ball at the Belfry, is it? In the golf. Yeah, so it's just one of the best courses. Monterex have put a boss little thing in. Yeah, there's a couple of really good prizes. So yeah, it's going to be a boss night.
If you've got any more suggestions for the Sportcast as well, always let us know. We will bear it in mind. You know what? Someone asked us to talk more on horse racing this weekend as well, and we haven't really touched on it.
Haydock's going to be boss, but
yeah,
next week the Hollow fella's back.
Yeah, Hollow Gins next week.
So we'll
have a big talk on that. But as always, ladies and gents, because there are ladies who listen, as I was reminded, appreciate your support as always. It's grown each week, which we love. Getting some great interaction with all the people who listen, so it's getting much appreciated. And have a boss weekend.
Yep.